Points a hand at you. I need all of you all to say, I got you, girl. You ready?
I got you, girl.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together one more time for Sweet Storm.
Thank you. I got an itch right here in the middle of my back and I can't reach it. Will you scratch it?
I got you, girl.
I got a big old booty. Sometimes it's not that cute to me. Won't you sneak up and smack it so I still know I'm all that? Girl, everyone in this room has consumed way too much alcohol. They're overreacting, ready to fight, blow for blow, toe to toe. They're all in each other's faces and they don't even know what's happening. They're being way too dramatic. Can you turn this crazy channel? Because I cannot see through all the static.
I got you, girl.
Hey, I know we're recording. I'm sorry.
I got you, girl. Come on.
I know that's right. Girl, me and Joe, we just broke up. I'm feeling kind of bad because last night I cheated, then today I greeted him with a goodbye. Treated him like it was his fault, but will you keep this between you and I? Well, a few weeks later, I met Manuel. He put me under his magic spell with his rolling R's and sweet cigars. Mi amor, mi corazón. When he spoke to me in his Latin tongue, I put my playaways out to dry because I was hung. Yes, he was a sexy bee and I was stung. With his dark brown eyes and light brown skin, I threw all my senses to the wind. I don't normally fall, but I fell in. But it was only infatuation. I thought we were perfect math, but it was a miscalculation. Girl, he split to the curb, I was kicked. I'm in the pits on a sinking ship. Will you flip this pitiful page, get me off this sad stage? Yes, remind me of the fact that I'm a female Mac. I can have Jack, Jose, or Jamal. I don't discriminate. I like them all. And I can have these men whenever I have the whim at my beck and call.
I got you, girl.
Girl, lately, I've been lacking ambition. I'm wishing on airplanes instead of stars. I'm feeling like my life is too damn hard. I'm drowning in a pond of poor little me. Will you throw me an oar? Show me the shore. Remind me life is what you make it. And it could be so much more. Yes, give me the key to release these self-inflicted shackles. Let's laugh. Yes, will you make me laugh? Tell some jokes. Let's laugh about being broke. Let's laugh at the rats on the kitchen floor playing with the kick cereal that fell by the door. Let's laugh at the shoestring holding shut my car door. Let's laugh until we can't breathe, till we gotta pee. But I'm still laughing hysterically. So have you ever had a friend that if you had an itch, she'd scratch it, a big butt, she'd smack it, helped you see through the static, held all your secrets, then turned the page, reminded you of the facts, and if you were depressed, she would be there to rescue you from your blues. Even if it was a simple, silly, knock knock, who's there joke, she was always there. Have you ever had a friend that was more like a sister? If she wasn't around, you missed her. More like an angel, she could strangle the sadness right out of your soul. Always there to console, to give strength, to give support, to be there. She was always there. I got you too. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Sweet Storm in the building. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I come from the 312, showing love for the 316 in the building. Give it up for the 316, y'all, everybody in the house. Today, my son was asked a question by his teacher to draw a picture of his hero. And after thinking for a moment about who made the most De Niro, he drew a picture of me in the mirror. Came home and he posted it on the refrigerator door, and when I saw it, it touched me to the core. I was outdone. There's nothing more than a father wants to hear than admirations from his son. So that night as I tucked him in, I wanted to be crystal clear, so I sincerely whispered in his ear, "Son, I love you." And yawning with his hands in front of his mouth, he said, "Daddy, I love you too." As he laid in front of me, I was touched. It was like a needle had stuck me in my arm and my blood was right in front of me, so I thought to myself, I wonder, does he really know for me what he has done? And does he know that I never could have been a father until he made me one? And that until he was born, I never really knew me. And that I didn't know a thing about responsibility until he gave it to me. And that until he was born, my future was kind of dim. But now that he's here, my life has been extended, because even when I'm gone, I can live through him. And although me and your moms don't get along, but that leaving you and your little brother in the house overnight was dead wrong, yet he was strong enough to take the time out to take care of his little brother. It's just a shame that at 11 years old, he had to play the role as the man of his mom's house. Yet with all these distractions, he struggled to keep his eyes on the prize while dealing with the everyday life of living in a low-income high-rise, not to mention dealing with his mother's addiction to drugs. But I swore my life that he would never be a statistic or listed as a thug. So when he would come home with me on the weekend, I would help to build his self-esteem. I allowed him to dream and taught him just what it meant to be a strong black king, and kept him away from all hurt, harm, and danger. And told my son that you could be successful living in a low-income home if Jesus was born in a manger. But there was like this deep-rooted anger that reflected in his attitude, which caused some of his teachers to call me at home from school, but they ain't got a clue as to what he going through now. And until he found a way to channel his anger, it just kept on slowing him down. But I'm proud to announce that he finally got it under control. Not only did he win first place in a school science project, but for the first time in his life, my little 11-year-old made the honor roll. So when I think about all the obstacles, the peer pressure from the other children, all the slanging and banging that he saw in front of his mother's building, the drug problems dealing with his mother, playing the role as the man of his mom's house and taking care of his little brother, when I think about how far he has come, and despite all the obstacles, everything that he has achieved and done, my son may consider me to be his hero. But to me, my hero was my son. That's that piece. Give it up, y'all. Make some noise. Stop it and start it again. How many people, if it wasn't for God, the big one at the bottom, don't worry about it. How many people, if it wasn't for God, never would have made it? By a round of applause. If it wasn't for God, you never would have made it. That same son that I wrote that poem about when he was 11. At the age of 13, he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma cancer. And to make a long story short, after taking chemotherapy and after having surgeries, I lost that son at the age of 15 to osteosarcoma cancer. One of the hardest things that I had to ever deal with in my life, and there was a time when me and God wasn't on speaking terms. But today, although my son is no longer here for me to help save his life, there are other little boys and girls all over this nation that I can go to and try to give a word to try to inspire them to change their life and to help save their life. So the name of this piece right here is called EGO. Everybody say EGO. It's an acronym that stands for easing God out. Hey God, where you at? I've been looking for you. Seems like you've been avoiding me or something. And I've been searching for you for years with no answer, just anticipation. And I've been going through this transformation, but every time I call on you, God, it's like I get put on hold. And they say that you hear all and that you see all, but seems like you ain't never available, God, when I call. See, y'all, I remember it was January 91. I had just left Simeon High School's Martin Luther King ceremony speaking. I wasn't feeling too well that day. Little did I know that all the while, my appendix had been leaking. But where were you, God? Just when I thought nowhere to be found. And if it wasn't for my son's mother convincing me to go to St. Bernard's Hospital that night, Black Ice wouldn't be here with you in Wichita right now. And where were you at, God, that morning when I went to work and when I got to 123rd and Kedzie? Right by the cemetery, this lady ran the light. The last thing I saw, y'all, was headlights. A 3-car collision that almost took my life. But where were you, God? And where were you at, God, when my mother was stricken with cervical cancer? She's been going to the Kingdom Hall, serving him since before I was born, and we both called on you, and you still didn't answer. Come on, God, this is my mother. Tell me, is this how you treat all your sons and your daughters? And where were you at, God, that day my son died? I sat there at the University of Chicago and I watched him come back twice. You could have intervened. You could have saved his life. But where were you, God? Where were you? He said, okay, my son, I've heard enough. Now I know that times for you have been rough. But son, where's your faith? Seems like you only seek my face when you need me. For I am a full-time God, my son. Do you really believe in me? Well, if so, then you would know that I am the creator of the universe. All that you see from the highest heights of heaven to what you have discovered beneath the earth. See, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am the God of Moses, Lot, and David. I am the one who made Solomon wise. I put Noah in the ark before the waters could rise. I gave Samson the strength to destroy the Philistines with no eyes. I am that smooth stone that David slung that smote Goliath in the head. The cracks that crumbled the walls of Jericho. The same one that rose Lazarus from the dead. I am the blood of the lamb of the doorpost that kept the children of Israel safe from harm. Even the staff in Moses' right arm. And I gave it the power to split the Red Sea in half. Shall I go on? I said, please forgive me, Father. He said, no, son, I already have. But see, like Jonah, you've been running from your mission. I've been trying to reach you and speak to you for years, but your ego just wouldn't let you listen. See, when your appendix was spreading poison through your body, I was the voice that spake to your son's mother, warning you. And do you remember what you promised me, my son? Yes, Lord, I do. I promise you that if you allow me to make it through, then I would turn my life over to you. But what did you do? You continued to play. So I spoke to you again in the form of a 3-car collision, but I allowed you to walk away that day. And have you ever asked yourself the question why the accident was by a gravesite? I was showing you that the road that you were traveling on ended at the cemetery if you didn't change your life. But you still didn't listen. And as for your mother's cervical cancer, I am the reason why your mother's cancer is in remission. And I know your son's gone. But his body was sick, so I relieved him of his pain and I called him home. And yet and still I stayed by your side. All those moments that you felt alone. But you still rejected my truth. If you only could have put your ego to the side and listened to all those in Wichita that I sent to you. Lord, you mean to tell me all the while I was waiting to hear from you? You were sending me messages through all those whom I rejected? Yes, my son, this is true. And instead of focusing on the guides, submit to the truth that you find inside. For Satan is the one who subtracts and divides, but he is the one who adds and multiplies. I'm telling y'all, he opened my eyes. So to those of you who can't accept the truth, because your ego won't allow you to accept who the truth is coming through, take this as a lesson. Because see, God just ain't using these pastors today. Because asking some of these pastors questions is just like asking blind men for directions. But it's the truth that counts. And see, Wichita, in this case, my ego just with my ego. But my ego was easing God out. Thank y'all so much, Wichita. I love you. I gotta go get on my flight, but I'm gonna ask y'all one question before I get off. I am nominated for